Good evening and welcome inside the Jerome McGinley Arena. We're live from St. Albert, Alberta for tonight's matchup. The visiting Fort Saskatchewan Rebels at the St. Albert Crude. Your starting goaltenders today in net for the Rebels, number 92, Hunter Lukaweski. Lukaweski coming into this game today, 10.3 goals against average, a .700 save percentage in 10 games played. The other end of the floor, in net number 35, William Horn for the Crude, 11.3 goals against average and a .791 save percentage in 11 games played. These two teams, it is two different stories in the north. Fort Saskatchewan Rebels 11-4-0 so far this season. The Crude 4-11-0. Little bit of a topsy-turvy win-loss, but that's the way that the north goes this season. As we get set for the opening draw, my name is Keenan, and I'm going to take you all the way tonight. Fraser Barrett and Regan Walker taking this opening draw. And away we go. We are now live. The Crude get early possession of the ball. Walker has it in the close corner. Walker now running it around to the far side corner. Looking for some help. He gets a little bit of it. Knowlton with it now. Waiting, makes a bouncing pass across to Kerr. Kerr down low to Leung. Leung with a shot and a save. First save for Lukaweski. Rebels slowly running it up the floor here. Pass goes over to Josh Fodchuk. This is Fodchuk's first game against his former team since the trade on Saturday the 24th. Fodchuk with it around the outside, shot and scores! But that was not Fodchuk, that was Reed Lowe. Reed Lowe gets it started early. All it took, 46 seconds, and the Rebels are up 1-0. Crude thought they might have had something going early, but a little bit of a defensive turnover. And the Rebels capitalize early, showing why they're second in the north, trying to chase the Edmonton Warriors right now, looking for that first in the north. Rebels run it in really quick there. Fraser Barrett with it. And an easy save from Horn. Horn passing it over. The pass up the close side boards to Fry. Fry covered. Cuts to the center. Makes a pass off on the top. Ball knocked loose by Tyson Lewis. Lewis gains possession of it, running it through the center. He has some help, a pass and a shot by Riley Lewis to no avail. Ball currently loose, picked up by the Rebels, fresh 30 to work with. Currently held by Tariq Joma. Joma made the pass off. Rebels shot from up high by Baker. The pad save from Horn. Rebels working it around the outside again. Fodchuk with it. Gets a shot, hits Fry in the back. Loose ball. And James Leung is going to pick that up behind the net for the Crude. Makes a quick pass over to Fry, who's running it up the close side boards as Leung goes for a change. Fry over to Crundwell. Crundwell tries to go for a one-hand shot. So that was not Crundwell. My mistake. That was Pickering. They haven't changed the name on the back of his jersey yet. Caden Pickering came back in that trade on the 24th for Fodchuk. A couple other players and some picks involved in that. Rebels passing it around the outside of the circle. Looked to cut in. That was Fodchuk. Didn't get anything. A bit of a bouncing shot there from Ethan Peterson. Rebels retain possession. 5 on their shot clock. They get one off. Horn with the save. Fresh 30 to work with. There's a pass across to Peterson. Doesn't find him. Instead passing it up to Kohut. Kohut with it. Gets a shot off. And saved by Horn into the netting. They are going to award it to the Crude, but they are going to tell Ducharme to make the change. Brendan Schaff with it. Schaff running it through the center. down to the far side boards, picked off. It's a 2-on-0 opportunity for the Rebels. Shot and a save. Tyson Lewis couldn't find his way around horn. Crude trying to move it out of the zone. Loose ball right now. Was Nico Lopez knocked down by two Rebels offensemen. Rebels cutting in, but he was cut off. Ball now knocked loose. Crude with it, gets around his defender. Running it in, pass off to Fry. That was Tristan Anderson. Fry with it now. Cuts to the top of the circle, pass to Knowlton. Knowlton with the shot, tried to go above the shoulder. Doesn't find its way through. And a rebound goes into the Rebels' stick. Riley Lewis with it, passing it in the middle for Fodchuk. Fodchuk gets some help, namely Baker. Baker passing it around the outside. Fodchuk with it, shot into the shoulder of Horn. Rebels gain it right back. Baker with it, passing it top. Far side corner. It's McCallion with it. McCallion pass off to Fodchuk. Fodchuk with a shot. Goes off of a Crude defender in Pickering into the netting. They are going to award it to the Rebels. 6 seconds on their shot clock. Now they get that fresh 30. Hadn't reset it yet. Crude trying to work it up. Pickering with it now. Pickering trying to find his way around Longmire. He makes a shot, and the rebound goes right back into a Rebel stick. Rebels are all over the Crude early in this game. 5 minutes gone by in the first. Held by Ryan Walsh, trying to push his way in. It gets knocked loose by the Crude. They come up with it. Fry's going to get it restarted as he brings it into Rebels territory. Fry's trying to find his way around. A little bit of a spin move. And a bit of a lob pass. Doesn't go through. Crude player knocked down. Trying to make his way in. That was Simon Leung. Gets a shot, goes wide. And it looks like we're going to have the first penalty of the game. Two minutes for interference going to Riley Lewis here. So the Crude are going to get the first power play opportunity of tonight's game with just over 6.5 gone by in the first. Sorry, 5.5 gone by in the first. Fry quarterbacking this first power play opportunity for the Crude. Passing it around the outside, looked for a low shot, couldn't find one, over to Kerr. Passes down low, back to Kerr. To Fry. Fry winds up in a shot. And a nice save from Lukoweski. So the Rebels going to run it up the close side boards. Freezer Barrett with it. Barrett cuts back to look for some help. He gets some. Kohut with it. Kohut. It's covered right now by Ducharme. Went for a bit of a shot pass. Ball currently loose. Ducharme picks it up right out beside the Rebels bench. The Rebels try and knock it. They're going to award it to the Rebels on a bit of an unnecessary rough, I'm assuming there. Rebels get it restarted. Ben Renault. Renault cuts in back up to the blue line. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Pass down low. Doesn't make its way to Fodchuk. Or sorry, not Fodchuk. It's Eastwood. Looked like a 19 from my vantage point. Crude currently have it in the middle. Knowlton with it, waiting for some reinforcement. Gets it in Fry. Passes it right back to Knowlton. Down low, back up to Fry. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Kerr now behind the net, looking for a shot. Gets one. And off the pad. 3, 2, 1. There goes the shot clock. Horn was able to throw it down just in time. McCallion with it. McCallion looking, weighing his options, seeing what he should do as the penalty now expires to Riley Lewis. Lewis is going to head to the bench. Back 5-on-5. And we're going to get a penalty to the Crude now, right after that last penalty expires to the Rebels. To be Zaxton Blake, 2 minutes cross-checking. 12:21 to go in the first. Shots 8-4 in favor of the Rebels, also leading where it counts 1-0. Rebels moving it around the outside. Now in the far corner, directing traffic is Fodchuk. Up to the top is Baker. Now in the corner, McCallion. Back to Fodchuk. Fodchuk with a shot, hits the mask of Horn. Loose ball. Hits the netting. Going to award it to the Rebels as that went off a Crude player. Rebels just slowly working it. 20 seconds on their shot clock. Got all the time in the world. Fodchuk, pass down low. And a little nifty behind the back falling shot there from Jackson Kohut, and that just doesn't find its way through. As Dizwanka has it knocked down. There's a penalty forthcoming to the Rebels. As Knowlton has it now, covered by 3 Rebels defenders. Crundwell with it. Now back to 5-on-5. And we now get the penalty. It's going to be 2 minutes cross-checking, I believe, here. 2 minutes cross-checking is indeed the call. That one going to Jackson Baker. That cuts their power play in about half. Crude get it restarted here as we're 4-on-4. Fry around the outside. Pass to nobody. Picked up in the far corner, Reese Walsh. Walsh passing it over to Alex Zorniak. Zorniak gets it to Fodchuk right in the center. So the Crude are going to have about a 1 minute power play opportunity off this 4-on-4. Rebels with it in the middle. Trying to go for a shot. Ethan Peterson, it was knocked out of his stick. Crude have it now. Ducharme. Zaxton Blake's penalty has expired. It's now a Crude power play for the next minute and 6 seconds. His shaft passes over to Kerr on the far side. Kerr gets it back. Gets a shot off right into the crest of Lukaweski. A nice job by Kerr to knock that pass loose from Lukaweski, but the Rebels retain possession of it as it comes up the close side boards to Riley Longmire. Longmire making a pass to Kohut. Kohut. It's covered right now by Blake. Sorry, Leung. Gets around him. Kohut with a behind-the-back shot. Saved by Horn. 20 seconds left on this Crude power play. Rebels making easy work of this short-handed opportunity. The Crude cannot be happy with this. The majority of their power play has been spent in their own zone. Fodchuk with a shot goes off the foot of Horn. They're going to award it to the Rebels. 4 seconds left on this penalty to the Rebels. And that will do it. We're back 5-on-5. Rebels moving around the outside. Baker gets a shot off, goes off of the shoulder of Tristan Anderson. Rebels get it. Fodchuk with a shot, and was a save from Horn. Beautiful save there. Horn had to fall on it before it rolled right into his net. Pass to Regan Walker. Walker down low to Fry. Fry getting some help from Pickering. A bouncing shot right into the stick of Lukoweski. It's a lob pass over to Calix Simonson. Last time these two teams met, scored in overtime to win it 15-14 for the Rebels. Rebels moving it around the outside. 9 seconds to go on their shot clock. There's going to be a elbow, so they're going to award it to the Crude. Bounce pass to Fry. 8 minutes to go in the first. Fry pass down low to Knowlton. Knowlton up to the top. Cutting in, getting a shot off. It was Simon Leung. But the Rebels are going to get the rebound back. Ben Renault carried it into center. Rebels looking to fake out the Crude a little bit in the center there. They don't. Jackson Kohut with it. Kohut back over to the far side for Eastwood. Eastwood to Fodchuk. Fodchuk with a shot into the shoulder of Horn. Loose ball. Picked up by Kohut. To Fodchuk. Fodchuk, it rolls out of his stick. He fries all over him. Knocks him a bit. We're going to award that to the Rebels if Fodchuk didn't keep possession of it there. Rebels on the outside, winding, absolute blast from Fraser Barrett. Rebels behind the net, back over to Fodchuk, close side corner. And a bit of a low shot from Nolan Eastwood, rolls wide. Fodchuk with it again. Back and forth to him. Around the back is McCallion. McCallion tries to go, well, was looking to go into the middle. Pass to Fodchuk. Fodchuk shot out of play. But because it went off Horn, going to award it back to the Rebels. Bit of pushing and shoving there. Referees weren't going to get it started until it stopped. Far side. Pass into the middle for Peterson. Peterson to Fodchuk. Fodchuk behind the back pass to Peterson. It does find him eventually. Back over to Fodchuk. Quick pass to McCallion. McCallion low shot. Goes wide. 5 seconds before the shot clock expires. Lukoweski's just going to send it right down into Crude territory. 6:04 to go in the first. Pickering getting it restarted. Over to Kerr. Kerr to Leung. Back to Kerr in the middle. Tries to make a bit of a jumping shot. Goes off a shoulder, and second chance opportunity goes over the net. Crude retained possession, and a cut pass shot from Tyson Lewis. Bit of pushing and shoving now. And they're going to give the Rebels a penalty here. Rebels going to take 2 minutes slashing to Matthew Vetch. This is going to be the Crude's third power play opportunity of the game. Just over 14 minutes gone by in the first. Fry with it now, over to Knowlton, down low. Ball knocked loose by Zorniak in a nice defensive play. Crude retained possession to Kerr. Kerr with a shot. With Fodchuk being traded to the Rebels, Kerr is now the leading scorer of the Crude. Currently sitting 24-17 for 41 points in 14 games played. Rebels have it on the close side boards. Jackson Baker, shorthanded. The shot pass into McCallion's stick kind of bounces out of it. Zaxton Blake covering him. Nice job by the Crude to cover. McCallion does make a shot, not quick enough. It's going to be Crude ball. A shot clock violation. Fry with it now. Fry to Kerr. Kerr down low. Bit of a fake out. Fry regains it. Back to Kerr. Kerr to Fry. Fry. Back to the close corner to Knowlton. Knowlton with a shot off the crossbar. 2 inches lower, and that would have been a goal. Crude passing it around. Fry with it. Low shot and save by Lukoweski. Pass to Simonson. Calix Simonson. Looks for some help. Gets some in Jackson Kohut. Kohut, close side boards, looking for some help. He's finally going to get some from Fodchuk. Didn't look like it was quite enough, but made a far side pass. A pass back to Fodchuk. Fodchuk with a save into the pads of Horn. 10 seconds left on this Crude power play. McBride passing it off to Pickering. Pickering to Fry. Back down to Pickering. And a pass cut there by the Rebels. And a long pass. It's a breakaway opportunity. Shot. And Matthew Vetch, fresh out of the box, gets saved by Horn. Crude are doing everything they can defensively to get this ball from the Rebels, but they're not having any luck. Rebels with possession of it. McCallion passing up to the top for Peterson. Bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle. They're going to award it to the Crude. 3 minutes to go here in the first. Fry's going to slowly walk it down into Rebels territory. Makes a pass to Pickering in the middle. Pickering trying to go around. Can't find a lane. Cuts back. Tries to make a pass. There's a tripping going to come up here to the Crude. Stenson's not happy with it. Rebels on the breakaway opportunity. Goes wide. Rebels getting their second power play opportunity of the game. The 5th penalty of this game. 2 minutes tripping to Stenson. So the Rebels coming into this game, 35 for 92 this season on the power play, good for 38.04%. It's good enough for second in the division. Only people better than them, well, the Warriors with over 50% on their power play. Warriors operating 52%. Little tic-tac-toe from the Rebels and a nice save by Horn to keep this a 1-0 game. Horn tries to make a pass down to Anderson, just a little high for his stick. Kerr tries to get it, bounces it just wide of his. So Rebels are going to get it back. Kohut with it now on the close side boards. He's wide open. Gets a shot off and saved by Horn into the netting. It's going to go back to the Rebels. Kohut with an easy pass over to Fodchuk. Rebels now passing it around the outside of the circle to Fodchuk on the tic-tac-toe. Saved by Horn. Trying to gain the rebound. And they're going to call it a over and back. So they're going to send it back down into Crude territory. It's going to be in the close side corner. Around the outside. Shot from Fodchuk. He tries to get his own rebound. Almost does. Knocked loose. It's going to be a one-on-one here for the Crude. Brings it in, and a shot there from Drader goes wide. Rebels, Alex Zorniak with it. Passing over to Tariq Joma. Joma to Fodchuk. Fodchuk across, comes back to him, behind the back pass to Simonson. Passing around the outside, Simonson with the shot. Nice save from Horn. As Ducharme's going to try and get a breakaway opportunity. Gets one knocked down after getting the shot. And Simonson with it just inside the Crude blue line. Under a minute to go now in the first. 20 seconds left on the Crude penalty. Simonson, his pass cut. Eastwood finds it to Fodchuk to Simonson. Simonson down low. Back up. Trying a tic-tac-toe. Fodchuk tries to go behind the back shot. Crude going to send it down on the boards. Trying to catch Stenson for a breakaway opportunity fresh out of the box. Stenson to Kerr. Kerr with a shot and save from Lukaweski. Lukaweski to Peterson. Rebels pulling Lukaweski for the last 15 seconds. Going 6-on-5. Going to try and go into the first intermission up 2-0. 5 seconds. They've got to make something happen fast. Fodchuk tries to make a shot, goes off a defender, and can't get a second opportunity before the clock expires. And while it's been a fast-paced first, there's only one goal to show for it on the board. Rebels up 1-0 after 20 shots, 23-10 in favor of the Rebels. Again, my name is Keenan. You're watching CROW LAX TV. We'll be back with the second. Welcome back inside Jerome McGinley Arena. We're getting set for period number 2 here between the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels and the St. Albert Crude. Through 20 minutes of play, Rebels leading 1-0. Crude have had the favor in power plays 3-2 so far, but the only goal coming even strength from Reed Lowe, only 46 seconds into the game. Rebels gain it off the opening draw of the second. Went for a 1-2 punch, but weren't able to pull it off. It's a loose ball currently. Rebels picking it up in the close side corner. Bit of a fake pass from Ethan Peterson. Peterson passing it to freshman off the bench, Jackson Kohut. Over to Lowe. And now Eastwood with it in the close corner. Eastwood up to Baker. 6 seconds on their shot clock. Gets a shot off. And a nice diving save from Horn. Keep it 1-0. Horn basically throwing it right to Lowe. But the Crude are going to gain possession of it as Drader runs it in the close side boards. Drader over to Stenson. Stenson now. Pass off to Knowlton. Knowlton finds his way to Kerr. Kerr with a shot. The save by Lukoweski. The diving shot there from Brendan Schaff. And a second opportunity save from Hunter Lukoweski. Rebels with it up into the middle. It's Joma. Joma finds a lane. Hits the stick of Horn. As Joma regains possession. Pass off. Ball currently loose. The Crude are going to try and go for a breakaway opportunity here. As the ball rolls out of the stick of Richardson. And a long pass to Barrett doesn't make its way through. Barrett finds it back. It's knocked loose on the defensive play by Dzwanka. Up to Drader. Drader, 2-on-1 opportunity with Fry. Fry's shot was an easy save from Lukoweski. Ball thrown behind the Rebels net. Picked up close corner. Renault's going to run it in through the middle. Makes the pass to Fodchuk, who's on the far side corner currently. Looking to cut in. Instead opting to pass. Cross, looking 5-hole. Horn shuts the door. Anderson with it now. Cutting his way in. Instead trying to go to Schaff. Goes over Schaff, ends up in Knowlton's stick. Knowlton to Schaff down low. Schaff cuts back out. 7 seconds on their shot clock. Ball knocked loose out of Schaff's stick. Rebels have possession. Riley Lewis with it. Lewis, 2-on-1. Easy save by Horn. Into the netting. It's going to be Crude ball. Crude try and send it up fast, and a beautiful cut pass there by Tyson Lewis. And makes a pass to Fraser Barrett. Barrett down to McCallion. Now passing on the outside. Joma, low shot, goes wide. Rebels pick it up on the other side. Joma with it again, cut in, down low, shot and scores. Jackson Baker makes it a 2-0 game. That goal coming at 3:50 of the second period. Jackson Baker capitalizes on a beautiful pass down low. An interesting face-off setup here, and the Crude end up gaining it. That's Bennett Fry with it. Fry on the far side, looking for reinforcements. Fry making a small pass to Knowlton. Knowlton stopping up, gets it to Kerr. Kerr, the top of the circle, covered by 2 Rebels players. Instead goes to Pickering. Pickering winds up, low shot. Lukaweski with the save. Lukaweski, bounce pass to Vetch. Vetch throws it into the corner, and Blake is going to pick it up. Deep in Crude territory. Moving it quickly, the Schaff over into the corner is Fry. Fry trying to get around. Finds a lane, cuts back in far side corner. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Up to Leung. Leung's shot goes wide. And the Rebels trying for a breakaway opportunity. To no avail for Calix Simonson. Crude pick it up. Fry passing it to Simon Leung. Eventually finds its way to Pickering. Goes for a low shot. Another easy save for Lukaweski. Zorniak trying to direct some traffic. Making a pass to Lowe. To Fodchuk. Fodchuk gets it to Kohut. Kohut to Lowe now. Lowe. Down low for Fodchuk. Goes for a behind the back shot. Saw that lots when he was with the Crude. As it goes wide. The shot clock violation gives it back to the Crude. Pickering got it to Fry. Fry to Kerr. Kerr cutting in. And Kerr makes it count. The leading scorer for the Crude cuts the lead in half. 2-1 Rebels. Once again, Kerr now the leading scorer of the Crude after the departure of Fodchuk to the Rebels. A bit of a defensive breakdown from the Rebels. Kerr capitalizes on it. Makes it a 2-1 game. Simonson with the easy win off the face-off. Got it to Renault. Which finds its way back to Peterson. Peterson to Kohut. Kohut back to Peterson. Peterson up at the blue line, trying to move it down low with 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Looking to make something happen was Low. It hit a Crude defender, and the Crude regained possession as Drader now has it running it through the middle. Now into Rebels territory, stops up at the top of the circle, letting the rest of the change go off. The pass to Schaff, doesn't find his stick. Schaff ends up gaining it in the far corner, getting a shot that goes wide, bouncing all the way into the Rebels bench. We got a little bit of pushing and shoving as Knowlton didn't like a little bit of the late hit from Riley Lewis. Lewis gives an extra little shot to one of the Leungs. Kerr with it now. Simon Leung to Fry. Over far side, Schaff. Simon Leung falls out of his stick. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Leung cutting in, going for a low shot. Gets knocked out into the stick of Ryan Walsh. Walsh stops up top of the circle. Makes a pass, behind the back pass from Fraser Barrett. Riley Lewis looking for help. Makes a pass across to Fodchuk. Fodchuk. Shot. And Horn falls on it, makes the save. Horn to Ducharme. Ducharme making a shot to Knowlton. Knowlton with the shot. Save from Lukaweski. And Lukaweski's going to send it Far down, it hits the roof, so they're going to award it to the Crude. Don't know if he was trying to throw it into the Crude bench or not, but it looked like he was trying to. Finds its way to Kerr. Kerr being covered very nicely by Longmire. Knocked it out of Kerr's stick. And Lukaweski going to send it over to Tyson Lewis on the close side boards. Blake was trying to get it, but Lewis still has it. McCallion looking to get his way around Drader. He does. Doesn't go for a shot, though. Instead makes a pass. And Kohut with a long pass. Finds its way to Eastwood. McCallion falling makes a shot. And a nice save from Horn. McBride with it now. 2-on-2. McBride getting around, gets a shot into Lukaweski's stick. And picked out of it by Ben Renault. Renault got it to Fodchuk. Fodchuk was blocked. Loose ball going to be awarded to the Rebels. A loose ball violation. Now in Peterson's stick. Peterson passes across for Lowe. Fodchuk behind the back pass, trying to go into the middle. Tried to go to Lowe. And Peterson found a loose ball in the middle, but his shot goes high. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Eastwood's got to make something happen fast. Making a pass to Lowe. 3 seconds. Gets a shot. Saved by Horn. They're going to call crease violation. Give it to the Crude. Ducharme in the middle, looking to see what's around him. Stops up and waits so he can make a change himself. Pickering, far corner. Covered right now by Zorniak. And a shot, hard shot, bounces way back into Crude territory. That was wide. 3 seconds, Horn is going to send it. Hits the roof before the shot clock violation. Going to be awarded to the Rebels as Reese Walsh picks it up. Walsh to Kohut. Kohut gets it over to Barrett. Barrett with a nice play. Cutting in, jumping through the crease. Saved by Horn, who sends it down to Blake. Leung tried to go to Knowlton. Knowlton couldn't find it. Ends up finding him anyway after it was loose for a minute there. Fry with it now on the far corner. And a nice little bit of a check from behind by Longmire. Some of the fans weren't very happy that wasn't called. It sounded like the Crude bench also wanted a hit from behind call. There was none forthcoming. So the Rebels currently have it. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Speaking of 15, makes its way to Reed Lowe. Passing to Peterson, back to Lowe, 7 seconds. Tried to go for a shot. Didn't find its way. Barrett trying to go for it. And they're going to award it to the Rebels, fresh 30. McCallion to Peterson. Peterson winds up, shot. Saved by Horn. Horn with a short pass there. And it was cut. And the Rebels make them pay as Captain Ethan Peterson tucks it home. 3-1 Rebels. Peterson staying all over the Crude offense. Makes that cut pass. Little bit of a fake out on Horn. And puts it right into the back of that net to make it a 3-1 game. 8:05 to go here in the second. Shots 34-19 in favor of the Rebels. Is the Crude going to win that face-off? Tries to go for a quick pass to Schaff. Simonson's going to pick that up and give it over to Zorniak. Zorniak down low for McCallion. McCallion looking for a lane. Thought he found one. Makes a second thought. And a loose ball now picked up by the Crude. It's Drader. There's too many on the floor on that change. It's going to go to the Rebels. McCallion passes it up to Fodchuk. Fodchuk waiting, back to McCallion. McCallion winds up, shot to Horn. And a nice defensive play by the Crude as Eastwood had a wide open opportunity if there wasn't a stick in that lane. Crude with it on the far side. Pickering. Pass. Now behind the net is Kerr. Kerr, 10 seconds on the shot clock, makes a pass. And a nice save there on, I believe, Pickering. Yes, it was. Rebels with it, moving it in. A quick shot opportunity from Eastwood. Saved by Horn. Eastwood gains his shot. Rebound back. Gets it to Peterson. Peterson to Fodchuk. Fodchuk trying to get some help from Peterson. And a cut pass by Richardson. And Richardson finally gets it, has that breakaway opportunity. He was covered nicely by Fodchuk. Lukoweski makes him pay. Stonewalled. Rebels with it. Kohut with it. The far corner. Pass around the outside. Now in the stick of Baker. Baker, 13 seconds on the shot clock. Finds Lowe. Lowe went down low to Kohut, who got two opportunities there. And two saves by Horn. Rebels regain possession. So Lowe has it. Lowe trying to fake him out, makes a pass. And that's going to be a crease violation on Tariq Joma. So that goes to the Crude. Drader now with a breakaway opportunity, gets a shot off, and a nice save from Lukoweski. Reese Walsh running it through the center right now. Going for a change off. He wanted to pass off. He found his own pass, though. It's the Rebels now moving it around the outside of the circle. 4 seconds on their shot clock. Got to make something happen fast. One. They did get a shot off in time, but it's not going to matter. So it was held by Horn. And a bouncing pass from Horn passes Anderson and also passes Stenson. Rebels with it. Close corner. Cutting in was Reed Lowe. Now a loose ball. Trying to find it, he does. Nolan Eastwood gets knocked loose, and Ducharme with it in the center. Knocked down by Riley Lewis. Tried to go to Fry in the center. Fry knocked down. Going to award unnecessary roughing. Crude ball. Simon Leung with it. To Fry behind the net. Back to Simon Leung. Lukoweski had no idea where it was, but Leung hesitated on that shot. Gave Lukoweski enough time to find it. Fry with it, trying to go down low now. He does to Knowlton. Knowlton's shot wide. 2-1. Shot clock expires. So they're going to award that back to the Rebels. 3:39 to go in the second. Shots currently sitting 42-23 for the Rebels. Around the outside, Rebels moving it around. Kohut with it. Nice block shot by the Crude. Down low. Tried to go to Baker. Didn't find his stick. Picked up by the Crude. Drader with it. Close boards. And Schaff. Schaff with a bit of a nifty high shot. Goes over the shoulder of Lukoweski. And the Crude cut the lead in half again. 3-2 now. Crude bench up in arms about something. Referee telling him to calm down. Guess you can consider that a first warning to the Crude bench. Crude win the face-off. Pickering cuts his way through 3 defenders, and he puts it home! Pickering ties it up 3-3. Pickering in his first game against his former team. That's a big goal at a big time with just under 3 to go in the second to tie it at 3 apiece. And you got to give credit to the Rebels defenders. There was nothing else they could really do there. Pickering just with a beautiful play to make his way through 3 of them. Looked like Connor McDavid against the Blue Jackets there. It's a quick shot there by the Rebels. Nolan Eastwood trying to regain the lead in quick fashion. Drader instead running it through the middle. Trying to go for a quick shot. He does, saved by Lukoweski. Lukoweski to Eastwood. Eastwood currently on the close side here. Back to Eastwood. Shot goes wide. Crude stick hit it in the middle. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Got to make something happen fast. Fawchuk with a shot. Hits Horn. They get a fresh 30. Passing between Baker and Joma right now. As Baker with it, cuts in, gets a shot. The Crude come up off the rebound. It's Tyson Smith. Smith, 2-on-0 opportunity. Leung. And a second chance. Lukoweski was falling, but it goes wide. Don't know if that was Leung's original intention, but it made for a nice shooting opportunity for the Crude. Now picked up by Anderson in the middle. Crude are all over the Rebels now. They have they gained some sort of momentum off those 2 quick goals to tie her up. We're now into the final minute of play in the second. Rebels moving it in. Zorniak. Zorniak passes off to McCallion. McCallion to Peterson. Peterson to Fawchuk. Fawchuk with a shot. Gets a fresh 30. 45 to go in the second. McCallion with it. Gets a shot off and into the ceiling. Off of Horn. Going to be awarded to the Rebels. Peterson gets it restarted with 33 to go. 10 seconds separate the shot and game clock. Tic-tac-toe, and it's a goal. Ethan Peterson makes it 4-3 for the Rebels with 28 seconds to go in the second. And after the Crude were dominating off those 2 quick goals, the Rebels make them pay. Referee calling for the face-off. It's Fry versus Barrett in there. Rebels win the face-off, call a timeout with 24.6 seconds to go here in the second. You're watching CROW LAX TV. We'll be back shortly after this timeout. 24.6 to go. Rebels have pulled Lukaweski to finish this off. We'll see what the Rebels will do, see if they're going to just hold this 1-goal lead into the second. But I have a very sneaking suspicion they're going to go for a 2-goal lead into it. A lot of pushing and shoving there between two of the players. I don't know exactly who that is. That's Drader and Eastwood going for it. And a nice passing play. Oh, and they cut it. The shot hits a defender. A nice little play there by the Rebels. And the Crude almost had an open net opportunity. But the cut pass there by the Rebels to get one final shot blocked. And that's going to do it for 40 minutes of play through 2 periods. Rebels up 4-3 on the Crude. Shots 50-28 in favor of the Rebels. Once again, you're watching CROW LAX TV. We'll be back for the third. Welcome back inside Jerome McGinley Arena as we get set for the third period of action here between the Fort Saskatchewan Rebels and the St. Albert Crude. 40 minutes now in the books. Low scoring game, but a high action one at that. 4-3's the score right now. Rebels up on the Crude. Shots totaling 50 to 28 through 40. It has definitely been a battle of the goaltender so far. Luka Weski in net for the Rebels, and Horn in net for the Crude. Again, it's an interesting thing having such a high defensive game with these two teams. The Rebels plus 33 goal differential on the season, Crude minus 54. And there's only been 5 penalties called in this game, all in the first period. But these are two teams that take a lot of penalties. 423 penalty minutes for the Rebels, 365 for the Crude. As the Crude win the opening draw here in the third. Fry was trying to get that rebound, couldn't get it. Instead makes its way to Ethan Peterson of the Rebels. Peterson going far side. Down to Joma. Joma to Fodchuk. Fodchuk shot high. Rebels regain it. Fodchuk with it again. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Tic-tac-toe and Horn making the save. Horn bouncing pass through the center. Doesn't find anybody. Instead finds Reese Walsh of the Rebels. And Peterson moving it quickly up the close boards to Fodchuk. Makes a nice pass to McCallion. And McCallion with the goal. Early in this third. 54 seconds in. 5-3 Rebel lead. Referee calling for a bit of a mop-up real quick. As McCallion was knocked down after his goal there. For those of you who are not in the arena, which if you're watching right now, you're probably not in the arena, it is very hot in here, so understandably so that after a player gets knocked down, they need a bit of a cleanup. I'm not even playing. I'm in the press box and I'm sweating. And back we go, Crude. Pickering trying to get it off the opening draw. Hits the boards hard, falls down, but the Rebels are going to gain possession of it there. Fraser Barrett with it, passing it to Peterson. Peterson over to Kohut. Kohut on the far side now. Ball loose. Kohut regains it. And Peterson trying to go for a jumping shot. Goes wide. Crude are going to get the rebound. That's Nico Lopez. Lopez to Fry. Cut by Nolan Eastwood. Eastwood was going to go in for a shot. There were 3 Crude defenders on him. He thought better of that opportunity. Eastwood into the middle, and a nice shot there from Tariq Joma. But Horn had the answer. Joma and Fry going at it. Fry gets dragged down, helmet pulled off by Joma. Fry, I think he wants a little piece of Joma here. Joma is chirping him right now. Joma's really chirping him all the way to the box. So Crude are going to get a power play opportunity here in the third. Their first one. We'll see exactly what they give them. Referees having a bit of a discussion here. It's going to be 5 minutes for face masking. Joma taking 5 for face masking. 18:04 to play in the third. This is the chance for the Crude to get back in it, if there ever was one. Down by 2, lots of time left to play. You got a 5-minute power play that's operating at 36.05%. And Kerr, 7 seconds is all it took for Kerr. 5-4 now for the Crude. Well, in favor of the Rebels, but the Crude cut it down. And now they're within 1 with still 4 minutes and 53 seconds of power play time. Kerr making quick work of it. He's now on hat trick watch, as well as Ethan Peterson from the Rebels on hat trick watch. The Crude have some momentum there from it. Going to award the ball to the Crude as it goes into Rebels bench. We'll see what they do. Pickering with it. Passing it far corner to Kerr. Kerr to Pickering. Pickering winds and fires. And a loose ball starting to make its way towards Horn. Picked up down low by Kerr. Pickering, 10 seconds on their shot clock. Shot into the crest of Lukaweski. Lukaweski going far out. And ball gets knocked loose. Crude, they score! 5-5! Lukaweski is livid. Lukaweski slamming his stick on the net. What a goal. And what a fumble from Lukaweski. Less than a minute has gone by in that power play. Only 51 seconds has gone by, and it's tied 5-5. Still 4:09 of power play time remaining. Didn't quite catch the number. I believe it was Simon Leung. It looked like a 77. I'm going to call it a 77. The Crude tie it up 5-5 now. Still 4:03 of power play time remaining. Sorry, my mistake. With that goal, they are giving it 5-on-5 now. Joma's going to stay in the box for the rest, but they are playing 5-on-5 now. It's Pickering with a shot. It's now behind the net. Over to Pickering at the top. 13 seconds on the shot clock. The Rebels somehow find it. Loose ball now. It's going to go to the Rebels. Picked up there by Vetch as he gets knocked down twice. Schaff and Stenson were all over him. One of the Crude players falling out of the box there on the change. Kohut with it, trying to make his way around the defenders. 4 defenders. Goes wide. Knowlton with it, close side boards. To Stenson, Stenson to the far corner. Now up to the top for Fry. Fry looking, waiting. Backs out of it, gets a shot very off of the net, but finds Stenson's stick. Stenson to Knowlton, Knowlton right into the crest, and dragged down. And some pushing and shoving here. Who was that? That was Ryan Walsh just shoving Knowlton to the ground. Walsh is now trash talking here. Crude fans are livid. They want him thrown out. It was Ryan Walsh. Don't be surprised if we see some sparks fly for the rest of this game. Still 15:48 to go here in the game. See what they give Walsh. It's going to be 5-minute cross check. Five minutes for cross checking. Last time the Crude had a 5-minute power play, they scored 2. Fry, while restarting it, stares down Walsh in the box. Fry is a little bit choked with him. Crude moving it around the outside. Kerr with it. Back and forth play, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Tried to go for a bounce pass off of the boards there. Don't know who he was trying to go to. Knowlton with it now. They're going to award it to the Rebels. Restarted by Zorniak. Zorniak. Pass across to Fodchuk, shorthanded. Fodchuk. Behind the net now. Looking for some help. Tries to make pass to McCallion in the middle. Picked up now by James Leung. Leung trying to go for a breakaway opportunity. Shot and saved by Lukoweski. Zorniak getting the pass from Lukoweski to McCallion. McCallion back to Zorniak, back to McCallion. McCallion is covered right now by Walker all over him. Now Blake is all over him. 4 seconds on their shot clock. Rebels aren't going to be able to get it. It'll be Crude ball on shot clock violation. Schaff with it now. Bouncing pass. Pickering to Schaff. Cross to Kerr. Kerr, loose ball out of his stick to Pickering. Pickering, open chance. Tries to go high on him. Goes a little bit too high. Kerr, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Knowlton with the shot. Goes into the roof. Rebels ball. They're calling for a floor wipe. So we'll get that real quick. And a water break for the goaltenders. 13:57 to go here in the third period. You're watching CROW LAX TV. Cleanup is now completed. Jackson Kohut with it in center. And here we go once again. Kohut passing cross over to Eastwood. Pass into the middle for Baker. Baker to Eastwood. Down to Kohut. Kohut looking, weighing his options. Backs into Leung and goes for a shot. Blocked by McBride. Ball hits the netting. And it's going to be Crude ball. It's Fry to Kerr. Makes its way back to Fry to Kerr. Back into the far behind the net. Knowlton. 5-hole! Knowlton with a power play goal. 6-5 for the Crude. The Crude now taking their first lead of the game. 13:12 to go in the third period. Still 2:25 of power play time for the Crude remaining. Referees resetting a couple of the players on the line. And a loose ball off the face-off. Ended up being knocked into Rebels territory by Barrett, but picked up by the Crude. Schaff coming to give Pickering some help. Pickering's going to stop and wait with it. Just over 2 minutes of power play time left for them. It's a pass for Leung. Bounces out of his stick. And Fodchuk does get it. And a nice open floor hit on Schaff while he's carrying by Renault. Nice play by Renault on transition there. Gets it off to Peterson. Peterson looking for the Hattie. Gets cross-checked in the face a bit there. And that's going to do it for the Crude power play. Take 2 minutes for holding to Dizwenka. I don't know if the referee saw that cross-check to the face, but could have easily been another 2 minutes there. We're going to play a bit of 4-on-4 action for 1:36. Rebels working it around the outside. Fodchuk with it. Passes to McCallion. McCallion tried to go 5-hole, bounced up into the netting. McBride. McBride trying to find his way around Fodchuk. He does, passing to Kerr. Kerr trying to back his way in. Tries to pass to Pickering, and instead it goes to Fry. Back to Kerr, far side corner now. Kerr with a shot and a nice save from Lukaweski. Zorniak, close boards. Stops up just before the blue line to make a pass to Fodchuk. Fodchuk in the middle, shot, and scores! Jackson Baker, his second. Baker now on hat trick watch, tying it up 6-6 with 11 minutes, 27 seconds to go in the third. Still 40 seconds of 4-on-4 time. And the Crude will have a short 23-second penalty kill. Simonson and Fry in the dot. Simonson with the win. Peterson waiting for his teammates to get a change off. Passes over to McCallion. Loose ball now off a couple of missed passes. McCallion going to try and collect it in the far corner. Collected by the Crude instead. A bit of a cross-check to the neck. No call as two referees are watching. Rebels about to get their man back for a short 23-second power play. And they got it now. On the outside, nice shot from Kohut off the bar into the roof, but it's awarded to the Rebels. 5 seconds left on this penalty to the Crude. It now expires. We're back to even strength, 5-on-5. Diswanker running up quick into the play. McCallion with it, far side, waiting, dishes. Tries to go over to Kohut, can't find him. Kohut does come up with it, 2 seconds on the shot clock, down low, goes wide. Time expires on the shot clock. The Crude ball. Regan Walker going to get it started. 10 minutes to go in the third. Tied at sixes, 55-35 shots in favor of the Rebels. Pickering trying to find his way through a couple D-men again. Finds his way to Kerr. Wide open, down low with Stenson. Just puts it right into the pad of wow, I cannot talk today, of Lukoweski. Don't know whose name I was trying to say there. The Rebels come up with it. Fodchuk now, close side boards. Finds his way around Smith, gets a shot off, and it doesn't go into the net. Lucky for Horn, it stayed in his pad. Richardson bringing it in, covered nicely by Fodchuk, gets a couple shots off before going for a change. Pass from Richardson to Fry. Fry getting a bit of help, trying to pass to Schaff, who was trying to cut in. And Schaff still trying to get it. It's loose. Picked up now by the Rebels. Longmire with it in the middle. Passing to Peterson. Peterson to McCallion. McCallion trying to get around, making a pass off instead to Baker. Baker going for the Hattie. Save from Horn. This ball goes all the way back into Rebels territory, but they do have a fresh 30 to work with and have possession. Peterson with it. Peterson crossed to McCallion. McCallion winding and shot. And the Crude come up with the rebound. Hit a defender in front. Pickering with it now. Pickering winds up, makes a shot. Bounces just in front of the pad of Lukoweski. Reese Walsh. Walsh backs out. Passes to Eastwood. Eastwood covered by Blake. Blake is all over him, drives him hard into the boards. Finds his way around, makes a pass off anyway. 7 seconds on their shot clock. Kohut with it. Knocked loose. And Walker comes up with it. Crude trying to move it in. Schaff with it now. Brings it just across the Rebels' blue line. Cuts in, gets a bouncing shot, which goes wide, right into Stenson's stick. Kerr right into the pad. As Lukoweski comes out to try and cut off Schaff, protect his player. Little fake pass from Zorniak. Zorniak to McCallion. McCallion on the far side, covered by McBride. McCallion to Peterson. Peterson winds and fires. Hits a defender in front. 3 seconds on their shot clock. Fodchuk makes a shot. And from my angle, it looked like it may have been in, but referee saying no. It's a lucky break for the Crude. And a nice last-minute shot from Fodchuk to try and make something happen there. It's now Lowe going for a shot, blocked. Baker picking it up in the close corner. Got a pass off to Eastwood, who tried to make a shot. 5 seconds on their shot clock. Got to make something happen fast. Another block. The Crude are absolute blocking machines right now. It's a little bit of pushing and shoving as they call for another cleanup on the floor. 6-6. 5:55 to go here in the third. You're watching Rebels at the Crude on CROW LAX TV. Kerr is going to get this restarted with just under 6 minutes to play here in the third, all tied at 6s. Kerr Passing across, back to Fry. Fry trying to wind, instead cutting back into the corner. Pass to Stenson. Stenson with a shot and scores! Avery Stenson makes it 7-6. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the goal. Fraser Barrett. Barrett breaking his stick on the bench. He is absolutely livid. I think they're throwing him out of this game. They absolutely are. Barrett heading back into the locker room. Now, is that to get another stick, or was he thrown out? I can't tell. Crude fans, a little bit upset once again for no call there, but let you know if Fraser Barrett does end up coming back onto the floor or onto the bench. So far, nothing. High off of the face-off, picked up by Walker. Walker to Kerr. Kerr back to Walker, knocked loose. Back to Kerr, getting some help behind from Leung. Knocked down by a Rebels defender. Luka Wesky picks it up and sends it over to Jackson Kohut. Kohut to Fodchuk, back to Kohut. Peterson winding, waiting, passing to Fodchuk. Fodchuk trying to get his own rebound. Picked up by Blake. Blake stopping up to Schaff now. Schaff to Fry. I can now confirm Fraser Barrett is making his way back to the bench. Needed a minute to cool off, grab a new stick, whatever he needed to do. A shot clock expires. It's going to be Rebels ball deep in Crude territory. 4:12 to go. Crude up 7-6. Rebels leading 59-40 on the shot clock. Rebels nice shot and save from Horn. As we have now hit the 100 shot marker across both teams in this game. Just under 4 to go. Rebels carrying it through the middle. Number 89, Nolan Eastwood. Eastwood passing it to Simonson. Simonson passing around, finds his way to Fodchuk. Fodchuk with a shot going wide. Rebound into Reed Lowe. And picked up by Ryan McBride. Pressure to work with. Shoves down Fodchuk. Simonson, though, knocking it out of McBride's stick. Ball bounces into the Rebels bench. They're going to call it Rebels ball. McCallion to Fodchuk. Fodchuk to Peterson to McCallion. Kohut. Kohut with a shot. Save from Horn. Picked up by the Crude. James Leung. Leung with a shot going wide. Don't know why he shot from so far out. Maybe he didn't think he could get around the defender. I don't know, but Pickering picks it up. Pickering trying to cut in. Runs it around the back of the net. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Tried to go to Schaff. Out of Schaff's stick. Ends up in the stick of Ryan Walsh. Ryan Walsh with it. Passing off to Baker. Baker to Peterson. Peterson cuts in, gets a shot, goes wide on far side. Joma picking it up. Low shot going wide again. Another chance. Got a fresh 30 to work with. Horn was wondering where the call was. The tic-tac-toe save from Horn on Ryan Walsh. And Fry is going to walk it in. 1:38 to go in this game. Crude up by 1. Schaff. Rebels player knocked down, awarded to the Rebels. 1:32. Sent down really quick shot and saved by Horn on Barrett. Lopez picks it up to Schaff to Dzwanka. 1:20. Crude, Schaff, slowing it down in the center. 17 on the shot clock. Tries to make a nifty little stop pass. Instead gets knocked down, loses his stick. Kerr with it now. 8 seconds on the shot clock. To Schaff. Schaff's got to make something happen fast. 3. He gets a shot off, hits the shoulder. Fresh 30. And it's going to be awarded to the Rebels. With 54.4 to go. McCallion scores! Josh McCallion ties it 7-7 with 50.5 seconds to go. Just found its way through Horn's 5-hole. They're calling for another mop-up, this time in the Rebels territory. Good chance for the teams to run over their strategies with 50.5 to go. We'll be back. You're watching CROW LAX TV. Rebels at the Crude. .5 to go inside Jerome McGinley Arena. 7-7, we're tied. Off the face-off, immediately goes into the netting. It's going to be awarded Rebels ball. Alex Zorniak to Peterson. Rebels want to close out this game in regulation. McCallion, pass shot, scores! Jackson Baker, hat-trick goal! 8-7, Rebels. A ripper from just inside the blue line by Baker for his hat-trick goal. 15 seconds after the restart makes it 8-7. Will the Crude be able to respond in the final 35-5 of this game? It's going to be Fry versus Barrett in the face-off dot. And it's going to be timeout for the Rebels. Rebels running over their strategy. Make sure that they don't squander this lead in the final 34. Once again, you're watching CROW LAX TV. Next game here on CROW LAX TV, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. in the Ken Nickel Regional Recreation Center from Beaumont. Edmonton Warriors visiting the Beaumont Outlaws. Mo Joma will have that call for you right here on CROW LAX TV, 7 p.m. Rebels going to get it restarted. The Crude already have pulled horn. And the Rebels are going to finish it off right there. Now 9-7 for the Rebels. That goal, Reed Lowe, his second of the game. A little bit of a questionable tactic from the Crude there. Don't know what they were thinking, but that is probably going to seal the deal with 27.6 to go. 9-7 Rebels lead. Rebels win the face-off. They're just going to kill that clock, take it behind their net. It's practically going to do it here is Drader just holding it now. He knows there's no point to trying anything else. That is going to be the game from here inside the Jerome McGinley Arena. Final score, Rebels 9, the Crude 7. Final shots, 108 total from the two teams, 67 for the Rebels, 41 for the Crude. This puts the Rebels 12-4-0 on the season. Crude 4-12-0. Big game for the Outlaws tomorrow against the Warriors. Warriors are first in the North. The Outlaws can pull out a win. That gives them a bit of breathing room on the Crude for third in the North. Well, I want to thank you for tuning in tonight to CROW LAX TV. Once again, my name is Keenan. It is my pleasure to bring you tonight's game from my broadcast partner, Mo Joma. Thank you for joining us, and make sure to tune in tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Ken Nickel Regional Recreation Center. Edmonton Warriors visiting the Beaumont Outlaws. Mo will have that call for you. Have a great night.